Hello, Teacher Irina. As you know, my name is Christian Ramirez, and today I'm gonna explain you my report about applied linguistic. Well, let's start. Applied linguistic is an interdisciplinary field which identifies, investigates, and offers solutions to language related with real life problems. So, applied linguistic is related with how to solve problems in the real life. And some of the academic fields related to applied linguistic, like education, psychology, communication, research, anthropology, and sociology. So there are many fields that use the applied linguistic to solve determined problems. And applied linguistic, according with the video which I watched, it studied two great factors, which are the components of the language and areas of the language. So I'm going to repeat, Teacher Irina. Um, when I watched the video, I identified that there are in the applied linguistic two factors very important or pretty important. One is the component of the language, and the other is the area study of the language. So every area has its characteristics. Let's start with the number one. By component of language, by the component of language, it has one, two, three, four, five, six areas. The first one is phonetics, and it studies the sounds. And the other one is syntax, that it studies grammar. The other is lexis, that studies words. The other is semantics, that studies meanings. The other area is pragmatics, that study the uses. And finally, the discourse. This area study the connected text. So the applied linguistic has two factors. One factor is linguistic by component of language. As I told you, phonetics, syntax, lexis, semantics, and pragmatics. And finally, discourse. The other is the area studied, and we got one, two, three, four, five areas. The first one is comparative linguistic, psycholinguistics, social linguistic, historical linguistic, theoretical linguistic, and many more, but they are the principal or they are the main areas in the linguistic. So the component of the language and the area studied, they form or they make or build the applied linguistic. So linguistics is the study of language in all its aspects, including its structure, its diversity, how it changes and evolves, how people learn and make use of communications, and how it is implicated in relation to power. So the study of applied linguistics is pretty important. And what provides us the study of linguistic or applied linguistic? It provides students with an insight into the most fundamental of all human faculties, developing strong analytical skills and foundations for work in many diverse areas. So, linguistic and applied linguistic in the School of Language and Linguistics has strengths in many significant areas of research. It has an outstanding record in attracting nationally competitive publication and research grants, and has established extensive collaborative networks with local and international scholars in the field. So, applied linguistics is inherently a multidisciplinary study, drawing on methodologies and theories from many fields, including archaeology, psychology, anthropology, history, literature, philosophy, sociology, social theory, education, the mathematical sciences, and computer science. Thus, it has contributions to make to a range of study and professional practice area. Wow! So applied linguistics is pretty important. And applied linguistics is concerned with the practical issues involving language in the life of the community. The most important of this, the most important for the applied linguistics is the language, But something pretty important too is the learning of the second foreign language. Others include language policy, multilingual, multilingualism, language education, the preservation and revival of endangered language, and the assessment of treatment of language difficulties. So the field of the applied linguistics is pretty rigorous, intellectual because it requires intellectual training, which stand and in good stead wherever clear, independent, creative thinking is valued. Applied linguistics will be of a particular interest to those studying second or foreign language. And finally, what I want to say is that, as I told you, teacher Irina, the applied linguistic has two factors. Component of language, which includes phonetics, syntax, lexis, semantics, pragmatics, and discourse. And the other is the area studied, that include comparative linguistics, psycholinguistics, linguistics, social linguistics, historical linguistics, theoretical linguistics. Both build applied linguistics. Well, teacher Irina, I really hope that my report be okay. Bye, teacher Irina. See you.